kids up.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. It's time for the showdown. Let's see if the stream works. I think it does. What is up? It is the Fantasy Showdown. It is time for week 7. We're halfway through. Fantasy J.A.R.V.I.S, Chad Kidd here, and Fantasy HP, Nolan Howard over here. Before we get started, I wanted to thank my wife because it's my anniversary weekend and I'm doing fantasy football tonight. So, I mean, just big up to Holly, big up. We're going to talk about a few different things tonight. Week 7, of course, a little look back. Week 6, running backs, some of the snap counts, wide receivers, quarterbacks. We're going to talk about it all. But what we're going to make a little tradition for our show is the shit show out of the gate. And the first thing that comes to mind for me is the New York Jets.
Shit show.
It was bad, man.
Man, they're bad. I mean, Geno, starting quarterback.
I don't even hate it at this point because Fitzpatrick he can get the ball to Brandon Marshall for the most part, but I mean when you start the season with 11 picks in the first 6 games, that's nearly 2 picks per game.
It's a shit show. Well, when you throw 6 and 1, I mean that helps.
Yeah. My God. Marcus Peters is still, he's a bad man though. He's going to get a lot of interceptions this year if you play IDP, which I'm not big into, but man, he is a good guy if you get big points for interceptions.
I'm wondering if Matt Forte is going to continue his shit show. I mean, because he is...
It's scary.
It's not good.
You know, I went Forte in a lot of leagues.
I did too, thinking, hey, I mean... he's got about a half gallon left in the tank. I mean, hopefully it'll get us through the season.
He came out the gate so strong, and you were just like, I'm a genius. You're just like, man, this was the best draft ever. I have Forte. In a couple leagues, I have Forte and C.J. Anderson, and I was just like, I'm a genius week 1. And then I was like, God, I'm an idiot. It's just bad. Another shit show that comes to mind is Kansas City passing game against... basically the worst pass defense that there is, Oakland. It's like you can't even use Macklin. I tried to plug in Chris Conley in a DFS just because I was like, surely you can throw the ball. I guess it was a big run, it was a run show, but still, it's like I've never drank the Alex Smith Kool-Aid, not even for a fill-in on a bye week, but if you did, you paid for it.
If you get Alex Smith in a bye week and you need 15 points to win, he's going to get you 14 every time. I mean,
he's probably going to be more like 6. Yeah. But, the best shit show that I enjoyed watching thoroughly was Green Bay against our boys.
Man, represent those big Cowboys. First off, I'd like to apologize to the Cowboy Nation on my... ignorance in the draft about wanting to maybe go corner. I just didn't realize that they knew that Mo Claiborne was going to be the truth.
It's like they pay those GMs, and Jerry pays himself. It's like, shouldn't we get paid like that? It's like, we know more than them, obviously, but...
We do, but, man, Zeke is the truth.
He is.
He is the truth.
I was scared to take him because of the rookie deal, but I feel like an idiot.
He's we're only halfway through the season. We'll see how he holds up to the load. But, man, the eye test is there. The score test is there. I mean, he's just pillaging defense.
The belly dance test is there.
Every bit of it, man. But if I had abs like that, I'd wear a half shirt every day. I mean, my wife would be like...
I wear a half shirt on the weekends, even with my keg belly. It's pretty awesome. I like to sit out on the porch and yell at cars as they go by. But another shit-tastic show, this is the last one that I can think of, really, is the Carolina defense. Is Josh Norman that big of a difference maker, or is it just like the idea of Josh Norman, or like it's like we're quarterbacks scared to throw to the best receivers last year, and that's what helped the entire defense.
Man, I think it did, and that offense isn't really clicking either. When the offense is going 3 and out, and they're putting more pressure on the defense, they don't have Josh. I mean, dude, it's a shit show. It's just a shit show.
That was a high-scoring game. It was great, though. It turned on late. If you had any Carolina Panthers, you were like, oh crap, I need something to happen. But they're famous for that. That's how Kelvin Benjamin had his living this first year that he played. But
dang straight.
Let's talk a little bit about receivers. I wanted to start at the bottom on this category because there's a lot of them that are making me nervous. I'm jumping ship on a lot of them. The J.A.R.V.I.S hype train is parked in the station. It's done.
Cut him.
I cut him. I would even consider cutting him in keeper leagues. I mean, he's.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude. When Kendall Wright's healthy and he plays with Mariota, it equals good.
You're big on him, man.
I like me some Kendall Wright. I mean, I just think he's a PPR monster. But, Matthews had a good game over there. Delaney's been down a couple weeks, but I think he rebounds this week.
Yeah, for sure.
But, Tajay Sharp cut. See
ya. I was on that Kendall Wright train a couple of years ago when Kenny Britt was still there. He was the number 2. I really liked him. He just hadn't got the most chances to get on the field. He stays hurt.
He stays hurt.
He's
He's a lot like Edelman.
He's talented.
Yeah.
I think he's good. We talked about Alex Smith and the results of Alex Smith as Jeremy Maclin. God, I didn't draft him anywhere. Good luck, everybody.
I played him in DFS last week, thinking, man, this is a good contrarian play. I mean, I'm going to play Jeremy Maclin because Alex Smith is his quarterback. And, he put up that 7-burger again. And you're like, God, man, really? I mean, this is the worst defense in the league. And, your number 1 wide receiver came. And, Kelsey's a good play. That's it.
And Kelsey didn't even come through last week. And Oakland... Like last year, they went on like a 10-game streak of allowing a touchdown per game for a tight end.
Yeah.
They're terrible against the tight end. And I recommended Kelsey to numerous people. I was just like, sleep like a baby. Mm-hmm. You're good. Throw him in there. And then, of course, he has a no-show. But it's probably a result of the running game being so good. But still, I'm jumping ship on KC receivers. Like you said, I'd still be good with Kelsey. Michael Floyd got a touchdown, but
dude, he keeps doing it. I mean, he's dead to me, but he keeps scoring touchdowns.
Gosh,
I don't understand it.
I've got him sucking air on a 5-person bench in one of my leagues, just sucking air because I'm like, man, I need to drop him. I need to drop him.
I'm gonna go ahead and say.
Cut it.
But
John Brown,
he got that sickle cell.
Yeah, he does.
Got that sickle cell. So
he does. So
man, but John Brown's making a move up, and then of course David Johnson's the truth.
Yeah. Edelman, man, I know that you're thinking that he's going to have a bounce back, but for me, I've never been on board. I just feel like he's just.
Man, there's places. It's almost like week 1, him and Brady weren't on the same page. He got targeted the most on the team, didn't catch any balls. This last week, I don't even really think he got a lot of targets.
No, it's the 2 tight ends, and then James White. It's like, man.
Hogan's had a couple good games though.
Yeah, that's
maybe
true. I've used him in some DFS.
He still may be hobbled. You just don't know with Belichick.
Before we get too much further, I had a note to flip back to the original page to go over injuries, and I'm going to reverse a little bit. And I know this is like not an outline type deal and bouncing around the place. But I want to talk about injuries real fast. I'm going to go through them just quick. So, Theo Riddick out. Dwayne Washington is expected to play. Let's see, Carlos Hyde out. I've been telling you he's going to get hurt for a while, but finally he did. It's like, man, it's almost like I was kind of hoping for it, but that's terrible to say. I never hope for injury.
Hey, who are you playing in the backfield?
I hope for people to get hit by a bus, not get hurt on the football field.
Are you going with Mikey D, or are you going to go with Sean Drawn?
Dude, Sean Drawn saved me last year in a few leagues.
No, he did.
But I don't know. I feel like the first down back is going to be Mike Davis, and then the passing down back will be Sean Drawn, which
Kaepernick doesn't throw to those backs.
Yeah.
He runs it. He runs it with his freaking afro.
Let's not even get started on that. Big Ben out. It's looking like it could be 4 to 6 on him. Steve Smith, doubtful. John Brown, doubtful, but they were saying it was a hamstring. But then he was just sore. They went and did tests, and it's sickle cell traits.
Yeah.
So that's a weird deal. Who knows what kind of timetable or what they're doing there. Robert Woods out. I mean, Tyrod is just running out. It's dripping dry.
He's on his knees right now going, please play LaShawn, please.
Oh my gosh. Doug Martin's out again. Jordan Reed's out. Dwayne Allen out. Thomas Rawls, just wanted to give you a timetable. They're saying a few more weeks on him. So you're good with Christine Michael right now.
He's the truth anyway.
IR. Eddie Lacy. Eduardo.
Ankle. This hurt a lot of people.
It did.
He looked good.
He did. But he's been carried to the Dead to Me cemetery and buried with a couple of flowers.
Dude, the guy was averaging like 5 a carry.
That's good for him.
You can do it on your team.
You can do it on your team next year. Just like I was trying to say, you can do it on your team this year.
I talked you into that.
You did, but I still love you.
He still looked good, though. I mean,
Josh Doxson put on IR, which I've been waiting for them to do this so I can quit doing the IR bounce around on ESPN. If you've ever done IR in there, it's a whipping. So I've been waiting to put him there. It's a keeper league, so I feel like he's got potential next year, but let's just let him heal, and maybe he'll still be. I think he's 23 though. It's the only problem. He's let's see, questionable. Diggs, he was a full participant.
Yep.
I think he's going to make his comeback.
I think he will. I think he'll come back too. He missed that game, and he had a bad game before that. But
a lot of people need him. I need him big time.
Dude, with Cameron Meredith and that shit show over there, we didn't even mention
that. That was last night.
Show of all.
Woo! That was.
Man,
it's like, man.
That's a Mexican shit show.
Now you're praying for Cutler to come back so the players you picked up could just be back in it. They were your saving grace. You were just like, man, I got Jordan Howard, I got Cameron Meredith. I'm about to whip all y'all. And then it's like 4 points combined.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Alshon had 6. That was good.
Oh, man. Jamal Charles, limited in practice.
Swelled knee. It's swollen back up.
Who knows there? You never know.
I ain't liking it. I like Ware better anyway.
Yeah, Ware. I mean, we said it in June. We were like, man, regardless if Charles is in there or not, Ware is going to be involved. And I've been saying it since been saying it. Travis Benjamin, limited. Carson Palmer, limited. The hamstring. Joe Flacco, he practiced.
It's a shoulder for him, isn't it?
Yeah. They're saying he's going to go.
Non-throwing, I believe.
LaShawn McCoy, game time decision, but he's been limited.
That's awesome, game time decision. That's my favorite ever.
Oh, it's the best. It's like, man, let me see what I'm doing Sunday morning. I'm waiting for 20 minutes up until game time because I'm screwed if up until
you
then.
have to play LaShawn.
Yeah. It's just like that. There was like a couple of times when Julio Jones last year was like that, and it was just like, man. And if it's a Monday night, you're just toast. You gotta.
And hopefully you got Gillislee, so you can just flip him in.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's probably a mess. Let's see. Charles Clay, limited. Arian Foster, full participant.
I don't even know what to do. That's beginning to be a shit show.
Oh man, I dropped his ass in my 8-team league. I couldn't. He was sucking too much air on my bench.
The guy came out and said he wants one back, and Ajay went for freaking ballistic last week.
He went ape shit. It's like, where has this guy been?
Aaron Foster was just hoping to keep that check rolling.
Yeah. Expected to play Martellus Bennett, Lat Murray, Will Fuller, but man, they're playing Denver. Could be not good. There's no injuries to the defense or special teams to speak of. Just wanted to make sure everybody knew that in case you're worried about a game time decision for your defense.
For your defense.
Let's get back into receivers. Sorry about that. I digressed. Talked about. Did we bring up Sterling Shepard? Kind of.
We did.
Slowing down.
That's where we stopped. I have him in a bunch of leagues. I liked him going into the season. I just think that Eli's been playing like garbage. And here's the other thing I'm going to say, and this is good knowledge right here. So, Odell Beckham has had a resurgence. Am I right?
He saved my season.
He saved your season yesterday. And you pulled it through that dub against the commish. And I get it. But you notice that on those 2 touchdowns, he's in the slot. You know who else plays the slot? Sterling Shepard.
Yeah. So
I think he's losing some slot snaps. Man, that's hard to say. Slot snaps to Odell Beckham. And when that offense kind of goes through the slot, and he's just not getting the looks that he was getting earlier in the season. And they figured out that Odell is still good on the outside, but if you get him in the slot, I mean, he's the beast of the league. So he's going to continue to work out of the slot, and
is it that not very many cornerbacks shadow into the slot?
They don't.
I don't think they do. Yeah,
it's a two-way go.
Yeah.
With the exception of like Chris Harris. He's an exclusive, really slot guy and elite there, but like the Slays of the world, the Josh Normans of the world, they normally don't go into the slot.
People were terrified of Slay out the gate, and then it's like
he's getting torched.
It's like Detroit. They're not good on defense.
It's like Mo Claiborne in 2014.
Allen Robinson, man,
this hurts my heart.
It does. It was a good matchup last week too, and then this week they play Oakland, and if it's anything like KC was, I'm going to I don't even know. I'm going to bash my head up against the wall.
I think Bortles gets right this week, and I think Robinson gets right. They've been mixing a little Marquise Lee in there.
Yeah. I think he's played a lot of snaps since the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And Allen Hurns is kind of nobody. Isn't that crazy to go from a season where you like 8 touchdowns in 10 games, and then you're just like
playing a role.
Yes. You're out there run blocking as a receiver.
Hurns, we're gonna block, son. We're gonna block.
Motion, come over here and block. Demarius and Emmanuel. I know the quarterback situation's been just rough, but
they'd have been better off with Mark Sanchez.
Trevor Siemian looked like the truth one week, and then I was like, ugh.
But those receivers are getting saved week in, week out with, Demarius caught a touchdown in a couple weeks in a row, and Emmanuel got in the end zone a couple weeks, and, and that running game looks like a shit show right now. But I don't know. I don't particularly love either one of them going forward, but if you have them, you probably have to play them.
Yeah.
You can't sit Demaryius Thomas for,
If I would, personally, I'd rather have Demarius, but it's one of those deals where Sanders can have that blow up game. He's so capable of that, but he's a boomer bust sometimes. That's the only thing with him. But what about Jordicus?
Man, okay, so we were texting during the game, and I really think that Jordy used to be fast and dynamic, and he just does not look the same ever since the injury. He just does not look like he's explosive off the ball. He doesn't look like he's got the top end. They've been still trying to throw deep balls to him, but really, he's turning into Anquan Bolden, running 10-yard outs and boxing out and catching passes. And I really think that Devontae Adams is taking over the role.
Yeah. I mean, Adams was another one of those deals. It was like, it's the reverse. It's like, where were you last year? And now you're just...
Is this his third year?
I think so.
It might be that third-year wide receiver rule that they blow up.
The junior year.
That's
junior year.
I think that, but I'm liking me some Ty Montgomery.
Yeah, Ty Montgomery, Fubu loves him. And, hopefully they change him to that RB /
They need to, like they did.
Oh, man, that'd be so nice. Like Dexter McCluster.
Yeah, Dexter McCluster was like that a couple of years ago. And you can plug him in and play him in any slot. He needs to be that way because, I mean, the guy had like 10 carries.
Yeah.
So, ESPN, seriously, Matthew Berry, pull some strings and let's get the duel in there. Let's get the running back and the wide.
I mean, you can use Terrell Pryor as a wide receiver, and he could potentially start as QB. So it's like, and he doesn't need the little slash, and that's pretty nice.
I'd like it. Play as a super flex.
Let's talk about people that blew up. What about? And this is completely it. It's because I dropped him. It's Golden Tate. Oh my God, we can't beat around this topic because it's the hottest topic that there is. It's like, man, you can't even smell the ball for 5 weeks,
and then you're doing cheerleading dances on the side. I mean, it's like, dude, this dude had the yips. I mean, dude, am I wrong? He came out and they said you got the yips. And then all of a sudden he's doing the pom-pom dance on the sideline. It's like, that doesn't look like a guy with yips.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I need to see one more week of good production, and then I'll put him into my lineup again, maybe.
I'm watching him on somebody else's team.
A couple of them, he's hit the waiver wire. But, I've still got him in a couple leagues. I was holding out hope. I was really weak at wide receiver. If he shows me one more week,
you're just pulling for that, man. I've got to be right on this.
Dude,
I've got to.
I've got to be right.
I mean, you were campaigning for that, dude. Like you were working for Donald or Hillary or something. Yeah. Just like Golden Tate.
Well,
2016.
Man, it's looking like I was on the Hillary campaign. Is what it looks like.
You're undercutting a bunch of people stabbing them. Political. Randall Cobb last night was he was stallion.
He looked good. That offense looked good, but I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. Again, need to see him another week or so.
It's kind of a couple of weeks.
It is, but
I think he got like 6 in between against Dallas.
Yeah.
But there was a good game before that. I think he's on the up and up.
I hope he is because the guy's got talent, but
I need him to be.
Hey man, there's a lot of people out there that drafted Randall Cobb thinking Jordy's back and he's
this week
legit.
They started out with like 23 points, which is just heat big. I mean, when you start out Thursday night with something like that out of one player, you're just like, man, I'm coasting into Sunday.
Those Aaron Rodgers naysayers, they're looking pretty dumb right now. He looked pretty solid.
Yeah, he still kind of looked a little choppy, but
he's getting it back.
He's getting it back. He's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's phenomenal. But how about Kenneth Britt?
Is it 2011? I mean, is it 2011?
Did we roll it? Is it a time change or is it year change?
I don't know. The guy used to be a complete stud, and he is again.
He never really got his chance, and he was just so big, and he just screwed up off the field, got hurt on the field, and again, I had to drop him just because I'm so depleted at running back that I had to just throw darts, and it's the week that I drop him that he goes berserk. It's just, I mean, I'll tell you guys who I drop next week to waivers.
Go ahead and pick them up.
Go ahead and pick them up because they're going to go ham on a biscuit. Did you see the catch? That one catch where he juggled it and then he caught it in between his legs?
Oh yeah.
That's
dude has talent, man. He's good and he's
big.
He's a massive dude, and I think I don't think Tavon Austin runs routes outside 3 yards, so there's only one guy going
to cut back to the quarterback to take
a toss because I got those stone hands.
I just got a big check and I can't catch.
$40 million.
Cole Beasley. I mean, we were on him, and it's I don't know. I think that he's still going to be just every week. I think you can start Cole Beasley every single week.
Yeah, as long as Dak is in there.
Yeah,
that's a big
we'll
question.
see what all that. I don't even want to go there. There's so many people that are asking me what's going to happen, and I'm just like, I don't even comment on Facebook. I'm just like, nope, I'm not getting into it. We'll see what happens.
I would like to get my take, if I could.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm all ears on this topic.
Okay, so here's the deal. I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. I'm all in on the Mojo deal. That's the only reason to keep Prescott, is because they got the Mojo deal. But as long as that offensive line is blocking the way it is, and you got the rookie of the year running the ball, I don't think it makes two shits who's playing quarterback. Whether it's Romo, whatever, it's going to be like Romo when...
As long as it's not Brandon Wheaton.
Brandon Wheaton can't play for
even
anybody.
Mark Sanchez probably could have...
Mark Sanchez would be the truth right now.
Yeah.
But the deal is that Zeke is the truth. And really it doesn't matter. They're devoting so much to stop that $140 a game.
That's the best theory that I've heard on it thus far. It's all about the quarterbacks, and you talking about just being Zeke. It makes a lot of sense. Because, I mean, obviously, you can get by without Dez.
You can get Dez Bryant's not there, and the offense is still rolling. Come on, man. That's not Dak. Don't get me wrong. Dak's played great, and I think he's the future of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my gosh.
But and it's a bright future. But, man, I mean, if you put Romo in his place, I think we're doing the same thing.
This is a Dion jersey, by the way. I want to go to it just because it's that 2-1, and I'm that cheap. I think this is an old school Dion jersey, but nobody knows that it doesn't say Elliott on the back. Just saying. Beckham, we talked about him blowing up, saving some people that blew their wad on him in the draft, like me. 70 it was like 50 something bucks to keep him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was just praying.
He's on pace to exceed last year's numbers with the exception of touchdowns, and everybody's been griping about him. I mean, I know he went for 222 last game, but he's on pace to exceed last year catches and yardage.
Yeah, you're telling me that the other day.
Get off.
Yeah, that's great.
I tried to trade for him in a lot of leagues. People knee-jerk.
Oh, yeah. Brandon Downs tried to trade me Eddie Lacy for him, and I was like, no. No. Shit, Sammy.
Hashtag shit, Sammy.
Amari Cooper being the...
He's the truth.
Dude.
He's the truth.
So good.
Man, I mean, I think he's going to continue to be good, and I still think Crabtree's viable.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to have a bad week. And
they've got no running game. So,
no, it's non-existent.
It's a shit show. And it is. It is. And I'm just so happy that John had Lat Murray and wasted his
I don't own him anywhere.
Me either.
That man's just wonderful. It's like...
It feels so good to be right. And then of course, I draft Golden Tate in every league I'm in. So, it's like 50-50.
How about Jarvis Landry coming through every week? Man, it's not necessarily the big... He has the big games, but it's consistency with him.
8 catches, 80 yards.
And you were real high on him. We were both high on him. We had him way up our rankings in the beginning of the year.
Man, we did, and everywhere we looked, he was way down there.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, why?
Yeah.
I mean, you think Devontae Parker's going to come in there and take his job?
That's because the experts aren't as expert. Their expertise is not as good as ours.
And everybody can be wrong every once in a while, but we were right about Jarvis Landry.
Man, we could have a whole show, and we could actually have a segment called "We Were Right, You Were Wrong."
Let's call it the Drew Brees Show.
Yeah, just tell you all about how many people we were right about.
Yeah, let's talk about...
We were calling Jordan Howard, and I know that it just hit a wall, but...
He got you a couple good weeks, man.
We were also calling Kenneth Dixon, so he needs to make an appearance.
Man, I think T. West has got it on lock.
T. West has it on lock. He's not losing that job. We need to talk a little bit about one that I called a couple of weeks ago, and I told everybody to get on board with this, and I hope you listen. But Jameson, I'm mixing it with Winston. Crowder. With Jordan Reed not there, Who are you going to go to?
Dude, I played him in DFS last week because you were mentioning him, and huge. I mean, just massive. I mean, I think he was league minimum salary.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
like great. $4,000 on DK.
Oh, it was great. Did you know? And I was looking it up before the show. That Jamison Crowder's number 2 in the league in red zone targets.
I did not know that. I knew that he was a target monster.
Number 2 in the league in red zone targets. It hadn't materialized into a lot of touchdowns yet, but they're coming, just like last week.
Yeah. Man, he's big. And, I told most everybody not to drop him last week after he had kind of I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but he just had that special teams return, and that was kind of it. I was like, man, just hold on, it's going to happen.
That's another reason.
And Garcon, you said you might have a little feeling on him.
They've been incorporating him more week by week, and he's a PPR guy. I mean, Crowder's definitely got more upside, but I think, Garcon's going to catch 8 balls this week.
With Deshaun hit or miss and always has an injury at least every third weekend, it's like, who else are you going to throw to? It's got to be those 2 guys.
Or Vernon Davis.
Vernon Davis, man, I love him this week.
And he looks good.
Man, I don't even have a list for tight ends because every tight end has a good matchup this week. Play them all. Yeah, play one in your flex. I mean, they're killing it this week. It's the best matchups for tight ends that I've ever seen in fantasy football in 1 week.
You know what I did last week? I made an error. I dropped Hunter Henry to waivers.
And people brought that up on Facebook.
They did.
That played that league with you.
Every once in a while, they do. I did it to pick up Devontae Booker.
Well, no, you did it so he would go off for everybody else, just like I did with Kenny Britt and Golden Tate.
I wish I could say that,
you
but
drop them just so people can have a chance with them.
It was a botching, and it was botched. But here's the thing: I want everybody to kind of temper that. I mean, you're probably going to start him this week because he's got a good matchup. But as Antonio Gates gets healthier, they are running some 2 tight end sets, and the targets have inched Gates' way, not Henry's way. Henry's just happened to catch a few for touchdowns. So if that trend continues,
I'd be interested to look at his yards after the catch too, because he makes things happen after he catches it.
He looks strong. I mean, I'm not saying he's horrible or anything. I'm just saying that he doesn't get targeted as much as Gates. And
it's looking a lot like the old New Orleans team, where it's like each week it's like spin the wheel and see who's going to go off for San Diego.
I mean, is it going to be Benjamin? Is it going to be Inman? Is it going to be Williams? Is it going to be? I mean, it's the only constant's Melvin Gordon running for 2 yards of carry and getting in there.
Dude, he's so bad. Oh God, he gets the volume. In that league that I'm playing in, that's 0.5 a carry. He is a monster. It's just carries.
He has no business being good. He has no business being good. They absolutely have nobody left. And they just keep giving this trash the ball on the 2-yard line, and he plunges in for a tee.
It's great, man. I'm just gonna milk it for all it's worth. Let's talk about running backs, and let's talk about a lot of weeks trying to figure out who it's going to be. For each team is kind of the deal, and snap counts is a big deal. Sure. And I like to look at the most recent. I see the trends over a few games, but I like to look at the last game, and I want to go through some of those. And the first one, I've had a few questions about Chris Ivory, and so Yeldon's had last week 37 snaps. Ivory had 24. Ivory did more.
Okay, so I'm taking Ivory on that team. I know the snap counts don't indicate that, but they are a passing offense, and Yeldon's the passing back. But they're not hitting Yeldon out of the backfield much. So, yes, he is getting the same number of snaps, but the snaps that matter that are going to the running back, I think, are going to Ivory.
He's getting more inside the 20. Yeah. I feel the same way. He's got a good matchup coming up against Oakland. I think you can flex him. I mean, a lot of people, you're so depleted at running back that he's an RB too. But J.A.R.V.I.S with 48, Foster with 11, and it could be injury, whatever. But dude, we talked a little bit about Foster, and it's just like
your deputy over.
If Ajay can, if they finally they just need to come out and say that's our starter, whatever, and give the kid confidence. Like that's all it takes.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it takes.
And maybe the whole beatdown of you're not traveling with the team and you're third string and you're fourth string and all that, maybe that worked, man. Maybe that's that reverse psychology. And let me just tell you, as terrible as Miami is, dude, they knocked me out of freaking Survivor this week.
They did me too. I'm so mad.
It's Ben Roethlisberger going down, but it's just like...
It was a lock.
God, it was. It's like, man, Miami is bad. And then it's like, 30-15. 30-15, what's up? We doubled your points. But yeah, they play Buffalo this week. It's not the greatest matchup, but it's not horrid.
Nope.
Then we go to the Jets, and the shit show that it is. Matt Forte with 21 snaps, and Bilal Powell with 39. And that could also be a big product of they just get beat down and they have to pass, and he's passing back.
Bilal Powell just flat looks better.
He does, and Forte's doing nothing with it, so you can't really argue. So
I'm taking Bilal Powell. In fact, I've got Forte and Powell in a couple leagues, and I got to start one of them, and I'm starting Powell.
Yeah. I'm benching Forte in all of the leagues that I have, and they're playing Baltimore this week, which is not a good matchup for either one of them. Mm-hmm. Geno's going to be struggling this week over there.
Geno's horrible.
Then we have Tevin Coleman and Devonta Freeman, and a lot of people, it's like it was a tough matchup. It's Seattle. They're going to stop both of them. So don't worry about Tevin Coleman. Please roll him back into your lineup. There's a league that I'm playing in, the 8-team league, and granted, you can't afford to have anybody that's no. It's got a big bench, but you really it's got to be all studs. But somebody dropped Tevin Coleman in that league, and I was like, I couldn't click it fast enough. I'm like, what are you doing? It had to have been an accident, but
that's a high ankle sprain away from a running back one.
Win for me. But and they're about even. 31 for Coleman, 36 for Freeman. That's pretty close, and it's been like that all year.
It has. We've got a buddy that has both of them on his team. I think his name is Eric Mosley.
You can run them both.
That's what I was just gonna say. Roll one in the flex and get
instead of cussing yourself at the end of the day, being like, I should have played this one instead of that one. Just throw them both out there. They're both producing.
I think they're averaging 30 points a week to running backs, and 15 a guy would be bad.
The schedule looks wonderful. They play San Diego this week, which is going to be just excellent.
Joey Bosa is the truth.
Then we go to Crowell and Dookie. Crowell had 38, Duke Johnson had 32, and it's a result of
Crowell being trash, okay? That's what it's a result of. Crowell is trash. And you know who I'm talking to? Lee Trammell. That was the worst trade of all time. And you know what? A couple weeks ago, I'm mad at myself because I apologized to you, Lee Trammell. But I should not have apologized. I should have said I told you so.
I kind of waited on that apology.
I told you so. He's getting like 20 yards a game.
He does have a better matchup this week, but not that much better. It's Cincinnati.
Let's hope, because that dude is trash.
Then on the opposite end of that, Gio and Jeremy Hill.
Gio's taking over.
He is 45 for Gio and 21 for Hill.
God, that's kind of surprising.
That's doubled, more than doubled.
Gio's an every week start now.
He is. He's great. I've got him in a few leagues, and I'm kind of waiting because that's kind of a nightmare over there.
It is.
1 week it's one guy, 1 week it's another, but it's been pretty consistent with Gio and Hill was kind of hurt. Yeah, he was injured in that game, but they played like I said, Cleveland, so that's going to be a great game for them this week. Then we have C.J. Anderson and Booker, and people just are throwing their hands up, going, "Oh my God, about C.J. Anderson, dude! He had 57 offensive snaps And granted, he didn't do quite as much as Booker did, but they're not flipping the script or anything.
No.
At first, when I was watching that game, I was like, dude, you got to get Booker. And then it was like, at the end of the game, it was just like, I mean, Anderson's a better pass blocker.
Yeah.
He does not have a history of fumbling.
He can catch it out of the backfield.
He can catch it out of the backfield.
And he's a pretty solid little runner.
And they should give Booker a chance, give him some more snaps. But it's just, he's not going to take that job. So.
Now, roll with CJ as planned.
It's just bad matchups for him. Well, really, San Diego, Joey Bosa, just like you said, he's
a beast.
He shut people down.
So how stupid was San Diego not to just give him his money? Just give that man his money and let him play.
Yeah. I mean, I was wondering. I was just like, man, is he worth it? And people were like, yes. And I was like, okay.
Freaking buzzsaw. He's from Ball So Hard University.
Charles and Ware. This week, Ware had 40. Charles had 15. It could be a little result of injury, but Ware is just like. He's an all-around player. Charles is kind of one-directional. He's that speed guy that, most of the times he's a receiver. So it's like, where it's like the down your throat, downhill.
And, we were talking, I think it was a couple days ago, and we were talking about Ware, and even before the show, we were talking about Ware, and he's who I'm rolling with. Especially, with Jamal having the swelling in the knee and that kind of thing. I mean, that's just going to happen after that injury. But I think it's going to roll like this. I think it's going to roll like, okay, so if it's a competitive game, I think that Jamal Charles will get more snaps. If it's not a competitive game, then I think Ware will get more snaps. What on earth was that?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, I think Ware will get more. Jesus, that was obnoxious. But I think Ware will get more snaps in blowouts when they're ahead, and I think Jamal will get more snaps on competitive games. So that's my 2 cents.
Blunt and White. White had 39. Blunt had 25. I think with New England, it's just whatever their game plan is with them. But I know that all of the leagues that I play with you in, that you have that Deion Lewis and you've had him since day one, it's looking like it's about to be a couple of weeks.
It's looking like it, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm really concerned about it. I thought that, he would get to come back and maybe take over his job, but James White looks good.
Dude, he looks legitimate.
He looks legit.
He's an every week starter. I mean, I had somebody last week that nearly beat me that played Blunt and James White, and I was like, oh my God, they're housing it on me, and I was just like, if I get beat by that nonsense, I'll be pissed, but whatever works. And they play Pittsburgh this week, so
I think it's going to be Blunt week.
Yeah, it could be. Some other running backs that I love last week and for the rest of the way, Terrence West, we're both crazy about him.
He's the chalk, man.
I've had a lot of trade offers for him, and it's just been like, nope. He looks good. I mean,
he looks good.
He's carrying some of my teams, really.
Man, he 100 yards a game and stuff.
Consistent. How about this? It's like I've been kind of pulling for this dude to finally show how much he sucks, but he hasn't been doing it. It's Matt Jones. People that were cussing the world the first of the season with them are like,
dude, okay, so I know the segment's later, but in one of my leagues, I had the biggest shit Sammy I've ever seen. And okay, so this goes into league stuff, and sorry to digress here, but okay, so we have got number one, we've got Quincy Enunwa for Matt Jones, and it was accepted, and then it was promptly vetoed, and then someone with the initials Logan Newton griped and got that trade pushed through. And now he's got Matt Jones for Quincy Enunwa. Dude, it was a Sammy, and the dude accepted it, thinking Enunwa is the truth. Oh my God! And so now, I mean, his team's stacked, but
And now he's got all his eggs in the Geno basket.
oh, Geno, no. I mean, unless your name's Brandon Marshall, then you're nobody on that team. Or Bilal Powell. Bilal Powell will be good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think Marshall will be fine.
dude, I like him going forward.
Yeah.
I like him.
How about we talked a little bit about Christine Michael? Man, he's going to carry the load. And this week it's not a great matchup against Arizona. Arizona's been playing a lot better on defense than how they started. Matt Jones, by the way, plays Detroit, and West plays the Jets this week. So those are pretty good matchups. Christine Michael not the best matchup, but he's getting it done. I know that Collins guy came in for a little while. CJ Spiller mixed in there, but it's Christine Michael all the way.
It's a show.
He's just going over to the Gatorade when they come in.
Yeah, and it's 2 TDs a week. Man.
That's killing me on Russell Wilson, though. It's like, man, they're kind of housing everybody, so they're not having to throw.
It'll be interesting to see how this game flow goes, because Arizona, let's say Carson Palmer plays, it's going to be an interesting matchup because you got Christine Michael against a pretty, we'll call them decent to above average defense, and you got the Seattle run D against David Johnson. And, I think this is where we're going to see if David Johnson, I mean, he's the truth so far.
Oh, yeah, he's the truth.
But let's see what he does against Seattle. I mean,
it's tough to run on Seattle no matter who you are. I mean, Adrian Peterson had trouble with them. Yeah, I mean, everybody's had trouble with Seattle. They're just a good defense.
But I think their safety's out this week. What's that safety's name? The big one.
No, I can't remember.
I can't either.
Ezekiel Elliott ran over him.
He did
in the first game.
And then the next play, he's going to go head hunting, and Zeke spin moved him and went for another 2. It was.
And David Johnson was next on my list, so took care of that. Zeke was also on my list. I mean, we talked about him earlier. He's just killing it. James White, we discussed. Lamar Miller finally having a game. It's just like, man,
where you been all my life?
Dude, it's a matchup deal with him.
And he's been solid all year. I mean, he's been solid. I mean, not like number 2 running back off the board solid, but he's been solid. He just got in the end zone this last week. Dude, on that catch where he faked out the
came
entire
back
team,
across, yeah.
It was like, this dude is the truth.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much football. I've been out of town, but I did get to see a lot of that game, and man, he was just balling. I mean,
he did.
He was doing what we wanted him to do in the draft. But this week they play Denver, so dude, that's going to be hard to watch game.
It is going to be bad.
It's going to be
3-and-out fest.
What was the game? Was it the one that was just so hard to watch?
The Giants against New Orleans?
It was a Thursday night game. I think it was Houston and I can't remember, but it was just it was like watching somebody slow cut themselves with razor blades or something. It was just so hard to watch. But how about DeMarco Murray just being the guy?
He's the truth, and I mean, he looks great.
I think he's going to have 25 this weekend against Indy.
Oh, a lot of people have him as the number 1 running back on the board, and I mean, for good reason. I mean, the guy scores in every week.
He's what they have. He is what they have.
Yeah, and with Mariota playing a little better at quarterback, it opens it up a little. I mean, dude, I missed on him in the draft. He was one of those guys I wanted no part of due to injury, but. I'm not convinced completely, and it's crazy that they had such a big game, and Delaney Walker didn't benefit from that, which that's just another one of those. Everybody's got a bad game, but man, tight end is so. I've always hated it. It's just so hit or miss with a lot of these guys. It's hard to predict. Even the best ones against the best in the best matchups, it's just like, man. It's like it's either 10 or it's Gronk or it's nothing. And I think the closest thing to good I was looking today. Dennis Pitt is on pace to catch 90 balls. And granted, it'll be 90 balls for like 650 yards or something.
Yeah.
But in a PPR, I mean, he's scoring you 10 every week. I mean, he's catching 5 balls for 50. And it's like, dude, you just got to keep starting.
Dude, I think my sleeper this week at tight end, though, since we're not going to go through tight ends, is in DFS really is Kyle Rudolph in tournaments, because Philly is supposedly the best against the tight end, but I don't think they faced any tight ends really to speak of. Kyle
That
Rudolph.
defense kind of was looking bad.
Yeah.
They looked good early on.
Oh yeah, they didn't play anybody, so I mean that's the whole deal. But Kyle Rudolph, he might be a little TD dependent, but he looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's somebody that I held on to in a couple of leagues when I didn't have a choice on dropping. I took that loss that 1 week. Every now and then you got to just take a loss because you don't want to drop anybody. But
I remember us talking about that.
if the rules applies, I had to throw Eric Decker in my lineup injured in order for that to work out because I couldn't put anybody on a bye. Some other good matchups. We talked about Melvin Gordon. He's got a good one against Atlanta this week. I'm big on him. Where against New Orleans. Ja.Quiz, we haven't brought him up. Ja.Quiz against San Francisco this week is going to be...
He's going to be beast. He's going to
be good. He's going to get a ton of carries, all the work. He's a great fill-in if you had Doug Martin and you picked him up.
I've got Doug in a couple leagues now, and I just traded for Ja.Quiz.
Yeah.
He's going to get me through until this setback. I mean, if it's 2 weeks, if it's 1 week, if it's 3, I don't really care. Ja.Quiz looks pretty good.
Yeah. Jarrett McKinnon. People kind of forget about people when they're on bye week, and I mean he's very capable.
He's averaging 20 carries a week since
That's
he took
big.
over.
That's
20
big.
carries a week. In that point per carry league, he'd be really, really good. But I think he's going to have a good week running the ball this week too.
And Asiata,
it's just a
on every team. There's the guy that takes a few of the carries on every team. So it's just one of those things with him. It doesn't make me like McKinnon any less. I'll tell you. We talked about the Chicago Jordan Howard hitting a wall. Going forward, if they can get cut back, and the matchup wasn't great, but
and when you don't have
Green Bay is the best against the run, so everybody needs to mark that down on Jordan Howard this week. I got a few questions where it was just a laundry list of players, and Jordan Howard was on there, and I did not recommend him because I knew. I mean, it's just like it doesn't matter really who you are if you play the best run defense in the league. You're probably gonna strike out.
I started him hoping he might get in the end zone or catch a couple balls.
Well, a lot of people don't have any choice.
I didn't have any choice.
I didn't either. I had to start him.
So I got my 12 points. I mean, I got them.
Yeah, I had him and Meredith in one league, and I was just like, what you doing? 4 points.
12.6.
Mark Ingram, are you a little worried about Mark? Man, his schedule looks brute.
Dude, I traded Mark Ingram today.
You did?
I traded him. And I feel like that it was a little low. I got paid a little low on him. I got about 80 cents of what I felt like on the dollar. But, I got to share Christine Michael for it. So I felt like it was a pretty good move. Not straight up. I won't go into the whole trade, but I'm worried about Mark Ingram. I mean, I'm worried about Mark Ingram because it's like freaking Sean Payton tries everything in the book to not give him a carry inside the 5-yard line. I mean, it's like, who can we? I tell you what we got to do. We got to run Colby Fleener into the end zone. It's like, what? Why? Why would you do
or
that?
on a run play. I saw that and I was like, oh my god.
Dude, it just infuriates me because it was John Kuhn that week. He could have really had a couple, standout performances and he just hasn't. And I missed a little bit on Mark Ingram. Still starting, but man, I'm worried about him.
I hear you, man. I'm probably going to have to move him in the leagues that I have him. Ryan Matthews, dead to you?
No. No, Ryan Matthews is not dead to me.
It's been a hot topic. This was the last time we did a live.
Okay, so if I was a hangman, I'd have the noose around his neck, but I will not have pulled the lever yet. I mean, like, really, the guy, he just needs touches. Give him the ball. I mean, he's averaging 5 a carry. Give him the ball. What are you doing? Do you think that you're freaking Chip Kelly? I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But he's still not getting carries, and Wendell Smallwood and company are getting carries, and it's hurting him. So I mean, he's a week away from dead to me. Yeah. I mean, he's got the noose around his neck.
Yeah, that's true. Ingram plays KC this week, and it's a road game.
KC's been on the come up a little bit.
Yeah. Quarterbacks. Thomas Brady is. I mean, I don't know if you know.
T-Bone.
I don't know if you know, but I know him. He's a buddy of mine.
He texted me before the show tonight.
I think he texted around. He had Fantasy J.A.R.V.I.S and Fantasy HP in there, and he didn't finish it out. He just hit the first one.
He said he wanted to hang out this weekend, and I was like, T-Bone, I don't know if I have time.
Drink some Sam Adams.
And eat a burger. And
man, he's playing Pitt this week. It's going to be ugly.
It's going to be ugly. I just hope. The only thing that scares me about Tom Brady this week, and it doesn't really scare me because New England just piles on, but, they could get up a lot in this game. I mean, they're probably. I don't know who Belichick's going to eliminate, Lev Bell or Antonio Brown, but whoever it is, I mean, they don't. I hope it's Antonio, but I don't know. I just hate to see them get up by 30 and start running the Blunt show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I need Marty Ben to be a big guy this weekend.
He's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing.
Matthew Stafford doing the deal every week.
Dude, he's the truth. He's the truth. Him and Golden Tate. I mean, force of the league.
You
heard it here first.
They're playing Washington this week. I love that.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton kind of doing his thing a little bit. He had a rough one against the Cowboys, but, man, we're good. I think we're good.
Cowboys are good. They're just flat good. I mean, ask Green Bay. But, Andy Dalton's going to have a big game. It's going to be a massively big game. The only thing that scares me, again, is we need Terrell Pryor to play so we can make it a game so that the redheaded Batman can go ahead and throw for about 400.
Dude, the Red Rocket.
The Red Rocket.
My wife thinks he's cute, and he's a redhead. I don't know where that even came from. It's from Hard Knocks, but anyway.
Ginger.
Matt Ryan playing San Diego this week. Another just phenomenal matchup for him.
They got such a good matchup. I just hate to say it, but I was big in on Matt Ryan before the season.
You were?
I was big.
You don't hate to say that. You've been waiting to say that.
I was been waiting. Yeah,
we talked a little bit about Mariota. They're playing Indiana this week, which is going to be big. Who knows who it's going to be? Hopefully it's Delaney. Then we have
hopefully it is Delaney.
Phillip Rivers.
Good quiet, matchup. Really good quarterback this year.
Yeah, he's doing good. It's a great matchup, Atlanta.
I mean, you're starting Rivers. I mean, that guy's a beast.
Yeah. And if you have somebody else, you're trading them. Which, if you have two stallion quarterbacks, you probably should have traded them already.
To whoever lost Big Ben.
Dude,
I should have done that this week.
I tried to trade Matt Ryan. Well, I put him out there, and nobody bit. And
I think everybody's still like, is this real?
Yeah.
But it's real, and you can go ahead and get Matt Ryan on your team and win a championship. I mean,
I'm telling you.
Guys legitimate.
Let's see. I hope this stream is working. It's kind of lagging on my deal here, but who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but hopefully it's working. We'll upload it if not. Derek Carr playing Jacksonville this week. Yeah, he had kind of a rough week last week.
He did.
Amari Cooper still came through.
Amari Cooper's still getting his, like we said, no running game. Jacksonville's trash. I mean, they're so bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he got to light it up.
He's going to light it up. I think Cooper and Crabtree go off. Both of them go off.
Yeah, it's going to be a big week for Carr. Flacco, if he goes, which it's looking like he is, playing Jets, and
they can't stop anybody.
They can't stop the pass.
Nobody.
But who's it going to be? Is it going to be, since Steve Smith is out, is it going to be Perryman? Is it going to be Aiken? Is it going to be Mike Wallace?
I like Mike Wallace.
Yeah.
The Jets are giving up a 40-yard pass play pretty much every game, and Mike Wallace, that's what he does.
Yeah.
So I like Mike Wallace. I think Perryman has been on the come up the last couple of weeks, but I still like Wallace this week.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I like Wallace and I like Terrence.
You said that Bortles is going to mount his. It's Oakland. I mean, it's like, how do you not? But
he's mounting it, man. He's on his horse.
He's got to. For me, he's got to have a big game this week, or he's just.
Dude, I bought Bortles in almost every single league.
Diversify, people. Diversify.
You need to diversify, but I mean, I thought he was just, I didn't see their defense getting a lot better. So, Bortles, I was like, man, he's king of trash time. He's gonna get points, and then last week he had 3 points at half, and I was freaking out. I think he ended up with 12 or something, but I mean that's still piss poor performance from a quarterback. I mean, you can't have your quarterback give you 12. I would rather start Andy freaking Dalton. Yeah. But I think he gets right this week.
Yeah, I'm starting Tyrod Taylor over Russell Wilson this week because I'm just like, I'm so pissed at Wilson not coming through for me.
I think he's getting healthier, and this may be the last week you got to worry about it. I got a little feeling about him this week, and Douglas Baldwin.
Yeah,
I like Dougie Baldwin.
But he's going to see a lot of Peterson.
He's going to see some Peterson.
That's going to be a tricky.
I don't think he'll shadow.
No, but it'll be a tricky matchup.
It'll be tricky, but Doug a lot of times works out of the slot, so maybe he'll have a little success. And Tyler Lockett's back healthy and playing. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy Graham, people were shoveling dirt on him. He was dead. And then all of a sudden, he's like, "What's up? 100 yards to the tee."
Who did the Superman at the end of that?
Sam came up. I mean, he's looking great like he used to.
Yeah.
So
I'm big on him, man. Every week starter.
So I think after this week, you'll probably be able to start Russell. Not even worry about it. Just like when you drafted him. I mean, he's just been injured.
I hope so. Because I've got him on two teams. It's the only year I've ever drafted that piece of crap, and he's just not.
Man, every year I fade him, and every year he's made me an idiot. But this year.
Yeah, because I drafted him this year. I don't ever draft quarterbacks high.
No, not since Aaron Rodgers.
No, I did it again, though. It's like, man.
Not since Aaron Rodgers. I remember.
Thought I'd learned that lesson, but no. Drew Brees on the road, I'm a little. It's like he just had a heroic game.
Different.
It's just unbelievable. It's like, why is it? It's like he just can't stand people not loving him or something. I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe he needs a teddy bear on the sideline. I don't know. But
I don't either. It's just.
Well, on the road, it's
a phenomenon.
It's trash on the road. But he's so good at home that it's like he still throws for 5,000. So, I mean, and granted, I mean, it's Drew Brees. So bad for him on the road is like 300, a TD, and 2 picks. So I mean that's still a starter in every league you play in.
Yeah. Oh, you got to start. If you bench him, I'm gonna laugh at you for losing. Let's see here. Some of the overall bad matchups we just mentioned: New Orleans, Philly going against Minnesota. That's overall just a horseshit matchup.
Oh, Minnesota, and we were on Minnesota from jump. I drafted Minnesota in like 3 leagues, and in the 2 leagues that I didn't get him in, Chad got him. So, and it's just because he likes to do that to me. But Minnesota's the truth. man, there is no
undefeated, man. Are they going to continue? How long are they going to continue? I think they can go 8-0.
That defense is so good, and Sammy B is slanging it.
He is. He's finally. It's like he doesn't have. It feels like he doesn't have the pressure that he's always had.
Rudolph has been.
He's just had such crap teams, and I'm not saying that Minnesota's offense is just something to say, oh my God, look at that offense. But it's like, I don't know.
They just move the ball and play defense.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just better coaching, you know.
Man, that could be it. I don't know, man. They got out the paddles on him and just clear.
Yeah.
And, you know, Bradford's back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking good.
Did you see the thing where it was like, I think it was like Sunday Night Football, and they were talking about the matchup for the next week, and they had photoshopped Bradford onto Teddy Bridgewater's body.
Did they really?
Yes, they did that, man.
No, they did.
They totally did. And Minnesota was like, hey, NBC, if you needed like a picture of Sam Bradford, we could just holler at us. We would email it to you.
Got a lot of them.
Oh man, I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't see that. That is
Houston versus Denver. We talked about that earlier. It's gonna be a shit. It's gonna be the first thing that we mention next week on the shit show.
Oh, with that being said, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, DeAndre Hopkins. There's a lot of people. Oh my God, DeAndre sucks. Okay, so this is like his last bad game, and then he's got a cake.
Yeah.
So if you're in a league and somebody's got DeAndre Hopkins and they're jerking a little bit, go get him.
Do it.
Go get him. Okay, understand that this week against Denver, he's going to look trashy. But after this, he's going to be DeAndre Hopkins. So just get ready.
You can even get Will Fuller on the cheap, I bet.
Oh, you can get Will Fuller on the cheap.
Especially in keeper league, man. I go way after that dude.
Dude, he's going to be legit for
Stonehands Fuller. I mean, he's
going to drop a 50-yard bomb a game, but then he's still going to come out with like 6 catches for 84 yards and a touch.
Start the New England defense this week. That's my sleeper D this week. Landry Jones is not good at NFL football.
He's not good at football.
He is not good at football. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be the same deal as last year with Antonio Brown's just going to plummet.
If somebody offered you Antonio Brown, would you take it right now? What would you pay for Antonio Brown?
Oh my God, that's the best question I've heard logged
I mean, really, what would you pay for Antonio Brown?
I don't even know. Lamar Miller. I'd do that. But it'd be something like that though. It'd be like where, hey, you know, I mean, you gotta think that.
He's still
even Antonio Brown, he's still capable of getting 10 points a week. And you saw last year he just lost his mind on the coaching staff and on Landry and everybody because he wasn't getting the ball and they started hitting him. But it's going to be bad.
It's going to be funny because he lost Big Ben and he made that bet with Brandon Marshall for that car.
Yeah.
Do you remember that before the season started? Yeah. And it could get ugly.
It could get ugly. Could get interesting, to say the least.
Could get a little closer.
So, the segment that we're going to wrap up the show with each week is the Shit Sammy, which is the bad trade, per se. The offers that I get are mind-blowing because it's like, man, if you know me at all, you know that I'm going to do value for value. And I had a trade offer earlier in the week, or it might have been before this past weekend, that was like Crowell for Brandon Marshall, and I was like, man, I can't even do that because it's not fair for me to get Brandon Marshall for Crow. I mean, it's just not fair. So if anybody's about value trades, it's me. I'm not going to let them happen if they're uneven. That's just how I am. But I get offered some great ones.
First, let me say that if I have Crowell and you offer me Brandon Marshall, I cannot hit accept quick enough.
Well, no, I get it, but yeah, but I mean, like, no, it's like I'm not a sleazeball. I'm just kidding.
I'll Sammy out there.
I would love to have Brandon Marshall for Crowell, but that's just not fair. I wasn't going to do that to my buddy.
No, I did the same thing with Brandon Downs today. I said, hey, you know what? I need to throw in this guy, and you need to throw in that guy, and it'll make it fair.
Yeah, you got to look at it from both sides. Yeah. And that's the whole deal with trades. Let me teach you about trades. I was telling you a little bit about this. But trades, if you think of it like this, say that you're like a mountaineer and you run into an Indian in the mountains, and you ain't got no coat, and you cold, and it's like negative 20, and he's got this big bear fur, but he's got a gun, and he ain't got no bullets. So you would think that you would trade bullets for the bear fur.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like this, though. You don't turn around and offer him the same bear fur, just dyed a different color, like purple. It's not doing anything. It's the same damn thing. Just swapping players is not going to do you any good. You got to find team needs. So, and also, you don't turn around and you offer him blank rounds. Here you go.
Yeah.
A freaking dud. It works where you trade him the rounds, he trades you the fur. That's how it works, okay? So, a shit Sammy where it's blanks for the fur this is what I got offered. David Johnson. Yes, I'll take David Johnson.
DJ.
But wait, what's the cost? Oh, they're also going to give me John Brown and Carson Palmer, so the Arizona Cardinals. For Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, and Brandon Cooks. Are you kidding me? Is that the price of David Johnson? It's 3 starters? I get it, dude. He's scoring 20 a week. But if you put all 3 of those players together, that's 60. Math. It's math. It's simple math. And 2 of the players are hobbled. Oh my God, that was a shit, Sammy.
Was that, man? I got one this week. I got the Sammy, and as soon as I got it, like I flashback and I saw John Howard in front of me. But because he's the king of the shit, Sammy. I mean, really, like John sends the trashiest trades I've ever seen. I mean, really, he sends the trashiest trades I've ever seen. But LeGarrette Blount and Alshon Jeffrey. Okay? Mm-hmm. Blunt's been doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. Alshon, he's Alshon.
Serviceable.
For Todd Gurley and Mike Evans.
Oh, my God.
Mike Evans is a top 10 receiver. Gurley is in the top 15 in the running back category. And I get Blount and Alshon for him. It's like, dude, really? I mean, do you think I don't look at numbers? I mean...
Do you think I don't watch football and pay attention to anything at all?
I mean, Todd Gurley started... I mean, they can't hand the ball off. He's not doing anything running, but they're throwing him the ball out of the backfield. He's still scoring 12 a week.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, LeGarrette Blount is not going to score... He's not going to average 12 a week for the rest of the season. And Mike Evans is... And I mean, excuse me, but he's pissing all over Alshon Jeffrey.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, he's urinating on Jeffrey right now. And... Man, I mean, guys, just like Chad's saying, I mean, I don't throw Sammys, I throw feeler trades. Okay?
There's a big difference.
There's a big difference.
When it's coming from Fantasy HP, it's a big
It's
difference.
a feeler trade.
Yeah.
It's a feeler trade. I'm just trying to get the convo started.
When it hits your email, you think you have a virus.
But it's a feeler trade. When I send you a trade, I just want to get you talking. I want to know who you want, and I want to show you who I want. And then we'll come to an agreement.
I got one. Arian Foster for Chris Ivory.
Ugh.
You sent that to me, buddy.
Just wanted to get the conversation started.
You get the conversation rolling. I've been sitting on Ivory just waiting on him to do something, and it's like Arian Foster.
I think you got a Jai in that league, though.
I do. I mean, it made sense, but it was like,
give you a handcuff.
No, that wasn't a complete shit scene.
It was a little stinky.
It was kind of stinky.
It was a little stinky. I knew when I sent it that it was stinky, but I just wanted you to know that I want Ivory.
I couldn't hit accept or decline as fast as you did that one time. I just can't remember who all I sent, but it was legit. It was a legit trade. It was for Jordan Howard, and you're like, nope, I like Howard. I mean, it couldn't even. I don't even think that it hit your email.
But I did, and then I was like, I really like Howard.
Yeah.
I mean, and hey, man, at this point,
and earlier this year he let a trade of mine time out, so it was like one extreme to the other.
Sometimes you just need to let people know that you're willing to let a time out.
I mean, you're just mulling it over.
Just mulling it over. I was actually thinking about doing that trade. I was really, really close to doing that trade, but problem is that my running back position was getting depleted.
Yeah.
And
I mean, every 5 minutes that you wait, a running back dies somewhere in the world. It's just like...
I was just hoping it wasn't the running back that I had.
Every 15 minutes, a running back dies from starvation in the world.
If you dial 1-800...
You get 5 cents a day. Oh. Well, on that note, I know that we've been kind of, every other week in this, we have lives too. We're pumping out a lot of information for you guys even during those lives. So we appreciate all the support and sharing the video and sharing the links and getting people involved, adding people to the Facebook group. We appreciate all that, and we appreciate you for tuning in. And Nolan, it's always fun.
Dude.
It seems like it gets better every time. And last week, with the echo, and that sucked.
We had
Hopefully
a lot.
It's been choppy on here, so I'm hoping that it didn't freeze.
It's whatever, but the echo was because we wanted to hear it twice.
Oh, yeah.
Because you need to listen.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we're going to go.
Really, we wanted to look legit with two mics. It was really, we were trying to walk down Cool Street.
It looked legit.
It did.
It was worth it.
It did. And your idea tonight, I didn't even put it in play to have the other mic not even plugged in.
Dude, sometimes, like my wife, she comes in, she complains about her feet hurting. She's been wearing high heels all day. And I'm like, she goes, that's the price you pay, look good. And I was like, they're high heels. You look just as good in some flats. I mean, I'm just saying. But, hey, I mean, next week we'll have two mics up and we'll look legit. One of them will not be running. We just want you to know that.
And I've also had the question of, why don't we have, some, legit, NFL stuff and all that. It's because NFL is copyrighted. I think the copyright of every word in the word copyright is copyrighted with the NFL, so it's hard to even put anything. I mean, I don't even think I'm allowed to wear this jersey without blurring it out. It's crazy.
Say Cowboys on it.
No, but it's like everything. It's crazy. But anyway, so week 7, man, we're halfway done.
Another week in the books.
Good luck to you. Hit us up, Twitter, Facebook, with all your questions this week, and we'll get you that dub. Have a great night.